What people at Courant have influenced you?
Well, of course, first and foremost, Peter Lax. I've learned from him a lot of mathematics, that's obviously the case. A lot about how one goes about solving problems, a lot about how one writes them up. But I think the major impact he's had on me was actually as a role model. He was somebody. The first mathematician with whom I had some contact was de Rham, and I greatly admired him. I certainly had tendencies more applied than him, but of course, there's no way I could aspire to become an upper-class Swiss aristocrat. There's no way. It's too far. Peter Lax was somebody whom I could try to emulate, and the encounter with him had a very major impact on my being able to even to work. And I'm very grateful. He was very kind to me. He was very understanding. He was very supportive. And I'm very grateful to him. I think that it was absolutely great. I had lots of contact with Joe Keller. I started working with him. It wasn't quite the topic I wanted to work on, but it's an extraordinary mathematician. His style of doing things in which he goes and looks and finds interesting mathematics to do in very applied problems is really quite extraordinary. The range of the things he did was extraordinary, and somebody for whom I have a lot of admiration. I sometimes regret that I've not expressed my appreciation to him enough in the early days. My contact with Donsker was very important to me because he was, somebody who was very helpful, very willing to discuss strange ideas which I had here and there and taken it seriously. Taught extraordinary courses, and I think that my interest in probability owes a lot to him. I've really greatly appreciated the friendship and the warmth of the Courant Institute in those days. And much of it, and the contact I had with Kathleen Morowitz and with Louis Nierenberg was very important to me also, even though it was more limited than with the first three I mentioned from the scientific point of view, in particular because I was so much more applied in Nierenberg. But the Courant Institute, as I said, we discussed talking about this, was a magical place. Friedrichs, again, I came on the scene when he was already quite old and not quite got around so much. But he said kind things to me about what I was doing and was very supportive. At one time I was invited to give a talk to the NYU trustees, and I talked about turbulence. And after the talk, Friedrichs approached me and said to me that before my talk, he knew nothing about turbulence, and after my talk, he still knows nothing about turbulence, but on a higher level. And he was very gracious to us.